The greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of its parent. This is a quote by Carl Jung. Hi, I'm Ilana, your parenting coach, and by the end of this video, I intend to explore this statement with you so we can understand exactly what this burden is, how it influences our children, and how we can avoid putting it onto our children. While you reflect a little bit on this quote, I would like to share a little bit of my story, and probably many of you mothers will resonate. I became a mother 6 years ago, and I dedicated myself completely to this role. My whole life revolved around my child, and this is very healthy and normal for a mom to do, but to a certain degree. At one point, when my boy was about 2 years old, I realized that I had completely lost myself in motherhood. I had no patience with him. I was stressed. I was exhausted. I started to have very strong reactions to his very healthy and appropriate 2 years old behavior. I was so involved and focused on him that my needs and my desires were in the back burner. This made me lose my inner balance. I was not well. I couldn't keep giving and offering something that I didn't have inside of me. I realized that I was not the mother that I knew I could be for my son, and that something needed to change. Of course, at the beginning, that something was him, because I wanted to change him. He was the one that was triggering me, so I felt like I needed to help him. And I reached that bottom line that I had to touch in order to start this road of self-knowledge and self-development. I started listening to podcasts, reading books, taking personal development courses and parenting courses. And throughout all of this information and listening to different perspectives, I noticed a common thought that I could find in all of this information. Like all of the specialists have agreed that we mothers are responsible for our well-being first and foremost. If we're at peace with ourselves, our child will follow us naturally. I realized then that I sacrificed myself for him, and if I did that, I was also limiting him by the example that I was giving. So this shift in my mindset made me realize that no matter how much effort I put into raising him, if I'm not well, he's not going to be good. He's not going to be well. So going back to the Jung statement that I mentioned earlier, it's talking exactly about this influence that parents have on their children. The way we as parents go through our life has a big impact on our children's subconscious. In childhood, there's a programming that forms, which shapes the child's perspectives, beliefs, behaviors for the rest of their lives. And this burden contains not only traumas, wounds, and fears and adaptation strategies, but also unfulfilled wishes, unsatisfied needs, and unrealized potential of the parents. So it forms this cycle of unrealized potential that is passed from one generation to another. Many times we, as parents, project on our expectations and dreams onto our children, hoping to see them fulfill our dreams and achieve the successes that we couldn't achieve. And we focus all of our energy and resources to this direction, and we put the child on a pedestal. And because all of our hopes are on the child, the dynamic in the family is changing. And we accumulate resentment and frustration. We might enter the victim state where we start blaming the child because we want validation, we want appreciation, gratitude. We strive for balance because we make this big effort of giving them everything and we want something in return. But it is not the child's responsibility to satisfy our needs. This pressure of parental aspirations hinders the child's ability to discover and follow their own authentic path. At a subconscious level, the child might live with the belief that if I'm good and I'm well, somebody suffers. He doesn't know how to function from this role, and we make him responsible for our well-being and our happiness. And it's very hard for the child to carry this. The child will live feeling guilty and feeling indebted, and he will suffer. He will not be happy. That's why parents don't have to build their lives around the child. They must focus on themselves to become the best version that they can be, and to give a good example worthy of being followed for the children. Your children don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be happy. Take care of you for your children.